You know, Sister J, I've always been fascinated with the study of human nature, not just the obvious things of human nature, but the things that are layered, where you are shown a facade of a personality that somebody shows to you, but it's not really that. And I like to go in with surgical precision. And so I was thinking about something earlier, and I just want to know if you've been through this, where you have a person who's supportive and smiling and always there for you, but you find out all along they don't like you, that they're using you, that they're talking bad about you, but they for some reason have to be near you. What is that all about? Is it just an energy thing where they want to suck your energy, or they want to be close to you just for the time that you may take a fall and they can make sure that you stay down? Let me know how you feel about that.
Oh, wow. That's a huge, that's a huge dilemma. And I have experienced it, and it's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant thing to experience because
I know
you don't even know it's happening when it's happening.
Yes.
By the time you figure it out, it's too late. But on the other hand, it's never too late, but still, you find out way too far down the road. And it's painful. It's painful because when you have good intentions, when you walk with a good intention, you want to give good intentions out, you're hoping that's what you are going to get back. But in the society we live in now, it's not always the case. Why do you ask? What's going on?
Well,
why do you ask this?
Well, I've noticed a pattern in my life. It's not every day, because these things take time to manifest over years. And the shock of it is that you realize that in your most vulnerable moments, when you look back in the past, your most intimate times, I don't mean anything sexual, I'm just saying intimacy as far as friendship. And you think, or you judge the world around you as well as the people around you with the state of your own mind that may be pure in their intentions. And you realize it always happens, that sometimes it happens by mistake. You're not even thinking like this, and something's revealed to you. Like, I had a friend who recently was talking about me. He was talking about me, but he was talking with me, known for a long time. I never said anything to him, and he did this twice. He took some personal business that I shared with him. Nothing that I couldn't speak from the mountaintops, because you know me, I'm totally uninhibited. But I went the extra mile in the dilemmas that I had been through in different periods of my life leading up to the present. And all along, he was repeating and adding on things to it and sending text messages to a common friend. And I knew who the common friend was, not by him mentioning his name, but the way he talked to him. We've been knowing each other for so long. And he said, see that? You see that? Just because this, that doesn't mean whatever. See? And what happens when, and he broke it down of my situation, and he texts me back with it. He texts me by mistake with the thing he was sending to the other friend, specifically naming out different situations of things I've overcome and challenges I have. I'm like, look at that. He didn't say nothing the whole day, and then he sent a video of something irrelevant to test the waters. And I was still in the valley of decision to say, should I confront him on that? And he did it before. And he did it again by mistake.
Wow.
And his whole mood changed. You know what I mean? And I still talk with him because I know who and what he is. Not because I want to.
See, that's the thing.
But now I'm being cool because I'm in the power position. Because I'm going to confront him one day. And I'm going to wait till he thinks. But I'm not going to confide. And it wasn't anything super personal. It's just a brother-to-brother talk. But why would you go and find a way to look at it like it's a negative and to put me down? Because you're mad at how successful I've been in the moves that I've made. And you're hoping certain things go wrong. I hope that it'll be messed up if that happened. And so I'm like, look at that. You running with that?
I don't know. I feel that it seems to stem from a lack mentality. And it's a lot of people out there that have it. It's trauma. It's just lack. And in their lack, instead of turning inward and trying their best to change the mindset that they have regarding what's going on outside of them, and focus on the inside, internal goodness, and spread it out. They would rather try to either try to take something from you or cause you upset, some type of upset or unhappiness, and it makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel good in the misery that they're in that moment.
Yes.
Instead of trying to spread joy and love. And if you can't do it, I don't think this is the thing. I don't think many people stop and sit and go within and try to heal themselves from inside out. I think it's our responsibility to do this. And many people know, some people don't know, but many people know that they have the choice to do this, but they choose the chaotic way instead of something like a pure intention. And because of this, it causes a lot of discord, and we could be working together, and instead we're all separate, because now how are you supposed to trust? How are you supposed to let a new person into your life if this kind of thing keeps happening over and over again? And you're supposed to just trust. I think it takes two, both of us. We have to work on ourselves and understand them, and they have to work on healing themselves so that they don't give, like, instead of giving love, they're giving problems to you. And that's wrong. It's sad. And I know it well because I've been through it. And it's difficult. It's painful. If you're not careful, you won't want to trust. You have to trust. We have to work together.
Yes. You know, I think it's a case of many people not wanting to face themselves. They don't want to face themselves and clean up their own backyard, but they want to tell you what little trash you have in yours that may have blown in. You see, they have trash that they have put there in their yard, and they're too lazy to face the consequences of keeping a clean yard. So here they are, they have nothing to look at in their yard except a reminder of their trashed past, or what they would call a failure, which is really not a failure, but they have accepted it as a failure. And now it burdens down the rest of their life. And here you are, even if you're not in a place of your ultimate success on your terms, they see that you have a clear path by the self-correcting way that you think in an upbeat spirit, and they don't like your enthusiasm. You see, you can see two cars on the highway next to each other on the freeway, but come back an hour and see how far away they are apart. Because while you're on I-95 in New York driving straight down to Florida, they might be on their way to California. But they know this, and they know that you have a full tank of gas and a debit card or a pocket full of money, and they know they got a quarter tank and they're going to conk out soon. So they are angry with you ahead of time, and all they want to do, instead of finding out a way to make their way to make ends meet, they want to rain on your parade so the misery can enjoy the company. It's amazing how the levels below the surface, how it can be. And I know there are people that listen that know me from long before. So here I am in Africa. Here I am building a home, much better than it was when I was in Richmond Hill, Queens. But when I was in Richmond Hill, Queens, I had a home and I had a neighbor there that I thought we were so close. But I realized at the end of the day, she was very jealous. And everything I did in my home, she tried to emulate. And so she wanted to make money out of her house, but she had so much family that every room was occupied. So I had tenants in my home, and I worked to fix the place up, and they loved the place, and I was getting money. So she couldn't compete with that. So she started throwing parties out of her house. Anybody could come over any day at night and eat and party, get drunk, urinate all down the side of the house, cussing and damning. That was the only way she can keep up. The other thing is, I was married and she wasn't, and she was known for just being with married men. So it could have been an esteem problem. And when she first moved there, she hit on me. After a while, she was coming home from work and she says, you know, there's somebody who's madly in love with you and they want to meet you and they work on my job. I met people on her job, but I figured it out when she said, I have to talk to you. I'm going to come over in a little while. This is 1:30 in the morning. And she said she's going to bring drinks, but she never came. We were always cool, but it got to, and I'm not going to dominate with a long story, but she started messing with the tenants, parking up on them when they can't get out. Just different stupid stuff. So I had it out with her. We didn't say anything, but she came over to grab my second daughter with my wife, right? And I didn't let her because we stopped talking. How are you going to grab my child when you're not talking to me? So she went back and told my wife. And I caught her and I told her about herself. So for years, she stopped speaking. These are the kind of people where you don't know what's below the surface, and they're there, lurking.
They're there.
Like dust under the refrigerator. When you finally move the refrigerator, you see how much dust is under there and didn't realize it. They're the same way.
It's sad. It's sad because it's obvious there's an issue that they have going on within themselves that they don't, like you said, don't want to deal with. And that's why decluttering, whether you're decluttering your home or decluttering certain bad mental thoughts that you have, it's important. It's important. Because when you start putting that negative energy on other people, innocent people that are just trying to live their lives in peace, you know, friendly people that would probably help you out if needed or listen to you if you had a problem, you know, and you would turn around and do something like that to them. No, something has to change. Something within has to change. You know.
Yes.
And I've seen it. I've seen it on multiple people. It's there's a sadness within them, or something is going on, and instead of working on that, they would rather attack you in some way, or use you, or try to get something from you, or something like that. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
You're right. And when they try to get something out of you, it's usually spitefully done on the inside. Well, she can afford it. Let me get this. Or look at her. She's so nice to me. See, your pure spirit And we've had many conversations, and I've told you, you have a pure spirit. It's no residue. It's no toxicity. The fires that burn inside of us, we can sometimes smell the stench in another person. But your fires burn clean. And this is me telling you that. So even that alone will anger people, because they know of the toxicity that they have inside that they have to hide from the world. And it's a burden to hide it from the world. And when they see you coming with a clean slate and enjoying life fully, because when you have these things in you that are bad, it clogs your filters. Whatever good emotions you're supposed to feel, it's blocked and reduced. Whatever joy you're supposed to feel, it's blocked and reduced. And when they see your filters not clean, they want to do something to clog yours up, instead of looking within and cleaning theirs out, and they can vibe with you on the same level. So they will never enjoy life fully. So you know what? It's not your fault. It's nothing you have to babysit. And eventually just cut these people out. But they will find a way to hold on to you, to keep you in their life, so they can hate you and be near you and try to destroy you at the same time. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And you know what? Before, I would rather have they come to me and talk to me about what is going on within them, and we could kind of like quantify it, break it down, come up with a solution. I would understand. But you know what? Even that, after a while, you can't even take on too much of that, especially if you have no solid proof that that person is going to be genuine moving forward with you. So sometimes you can't even use up any more energy with that. You have to let things go. You have to let things, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Because they become a burden. It's like being weighed down, and you don't know where this weight is coming from, and you think it's something internal in you, and they're throwing off the energies on you. And even when you have a hint, you start to ask yourself, as a pure soul person, did I do anything to make this person like this?
Yeah.
Why is this person? We take on responsibility of their wayward actions, but it has nothing to do with us. And that's one of the biggest lessons we have to understand. That if you're walking over there and you're upset at me, but you make it seem like you're just generally upset, but I'm the reason, I'm not the reason. You're the reason. Because you're taking my goodness as something bad. Because like I said, Dame Dash many years ago said that with men, and this is why he tries to exclusively work in business with women, because he gets along with them better. But with men, when you help a man with anything, and possibly in the past you may have helped her do something, but that's more of a manly thing. When you help most men do something, they turn around and they get ticked off that you helped them. Look at him, he helped me. See, you have one up on them if the man is not accepting the help straight. And most won't, because all men have testosterone and the male body parts that produce the aggression, and they're not going to like it after a while, because it makes them feel reduced. You see what I mean? It's a really twisted way of thinking, and I don't understand it. They won't like you when you're in a position to help them, and they come to you for help, you give it to them, and they turn around and they don't like it. And they resent you. There are men that are not in check, but people in general can be that way. It could be anything. It could be your beauty. It could be your potential. It could be your past, the things you've done, the life you've lived, the life they know you're going to live. There's some people that I've known up to the recent times that don't like any other female energy around me. They've got to try to find a way to destroy the female energy around me and make it just where it's me and them, but they hide their hand. See what I mean? So this is why even in your life, you've got to compartmentalize your circles. These poisonous people, you can't allow them into the other circles, being nice to them, saying, well, I'm shining and I might as well bring them on in, and maybe they'll get some kind of hookup, whatever endeavor you're into doing. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that,
well, like I was,
yes,
you were speaking on that earlier about that. Even in childhood, like you could, like I was the same way. Like you were saying, I always wanted to include like people in my happiness, not knowing that you cannot bring everybody with you, but I didn't want to leave anybody out. So I always used to bring people with me, whoever was closest to me, in everywhere I went. That was something that was fun or something to enjoy, but you can't do that because not everybody is seeing things and taking things the same way you are.
Exactly.
And some things are just for you to just experience and learn from and move on from. But it took me years to understand this. And you were telling me about you as a child sharing with kids.
Yes. They would come over, and I had a vast comic book collection. And some friends of mine, we would go to comic book conventions, and we'd save up all year, and we would get up to like $500. This is at 12 and 13 years old back in the 70s. A kid not having a job, cutting grass, cleaning yards, getting a stipend, the allowance, and saving up. And we would save up and go and get these comics and collect them regularly. And we'd have other friends that weren't into it as much, but they liked comics. And so here they are coming over my house, and they're reading my comics, looking at them. And I would say, excuse me, let me run and go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. And then when I would come back, there was this uncomfortable tension and silence in the room. So it'd be 3 or 4 of them. So they're smirking, they're looking at each other. And after 5 minutes, they're all ready to go. And this is how it always went for the next 8 or 9 times. But I noticed, I said, wait a second. I used to have to pack my comic books in this milk crate. There's a little more room here. Come to find out, they were stealing from me. I'd go to the bathroom, or I'd go to the kitchen to get them something to drink, and maybe get a sandwich or some cookies or something my mother made for them. And they in there stuffing the comic books in their shirt and smirking about it and leaving. I mean, it got to the point where I didn't see the one guy, but he was near the door and angled a certain way. When he walked out of there, he looked like he had a bulletproof vest on under his shirt. That's how pushed out it was. It's funny now.
You would have let him borrow it. You might even have gave it to him.
Exactly. I mean, if it was a rare issue, it wouldn't be a thing, but I would let him hold it because I kept all my stuff in plastic. Yeah. I kept my stuff orderly. Oh, okay. I was one of those guys. Yeah. I had issue 1, issue 2, issue 3. And if I had to pay $25 for one that was older that I missed, I'd do it. And a lot of them were missing. I wasn't paying. See,
that's a lack move. Yeah. Because they could have figured out a way how they could do like you do.
Right.
Even if they do it one at a time and save up money and do it. But instead, lack made them feel negative towards you and jealous.
Big time. Yes.
And look what they did there. See, that behavior has to stop, man. We need to move out of that frequency of that and work on ourselves individually, because we can't change other people.
That's right. You can't. And you know what? It's not your responsibility to do so. If someone comes to you with a deep issue that they want to speak to you about, fine. If you know you have to clean your yard and you say, please, I know I have to do this. I know I created this mess, but please, can you just be here and give me a little helping hand? I'm not expecting you to do everything, but people don't want to admit that. They're too pompous and arrogant, and they want to be condescending. And like the recent saying that I started to say to people directly that was straight up using me, I said, I'm sorry, I'm not your savior. I didn't die on the cross. I'm not your personal Jesus Christ. You have to face these things that are inside of you. You made this mess that you were in. I have helped you before. You can't continue to depend on me and take me for granted and not like me at the same time. So since I know this about you, I'm going to give you a reason to really not like me, because I can't bail you out. See, some of us are prostituted because of our kind heart. And people go on with things and they know that we're going to get their back. I had a friend of mine who we would go out to restaurants. He wasn't working no expensive job. Neither was I. I was making a little more money than him, but neither was I. And so we'd all go there, a bunch of friends. And at the end, when it's time for the check, he would say, you know, I ain't got no money. So why would you say that after you ate the food? So what do you mean? You know I ain't got no money. So he expected to perpetually have his thing taken care of. And you know what? If I knew he had no money none of the time, I would do it for him. But he had a sex addiction. So he's spending his money other ways. So I'm supposed to support your sex addiction? You see? So people get angry at you when you don't supplement their life because they feel you got it so good. I know several millionaires, multimillionaires. If I'm around them, I make sure to spring the bill. I'll pay it ahead of time, or go up and say, listen, I'm giving you this for the bill. If give me back change, I'll give back more. That way, because they're always going to bogart me and say, no, I got it. Because they know they got more than me. But no, I'm a man. And I'm genuinely friends with you, and I don't want you to think I'm using you or around, I'm doing stuff to you to get stuff out of you, because we know you're a millionaire, but let's be pure with each other, because you know what? I know I can ask you for anything if I need it, but let's not make that be an issue between us. I like to keep it pure.
And money is currency. It's currency anyway.
Yes, it's flow. It's flow.
Yes.
Let it flow.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be just as gifted or blessed for treating him or her out to a lunch where they got it way more than me, but it's the heart. See, and these people have wicked hearts. They put the facade of being so sweet and loving to the world, but their lives are miserable behind closed doors as they fixate on you. See, this is not just something they do to everybody. It's that you become their fixation. And today it's so easy. They get up and they look at your Instagram. They get up and see what videos you put up, what postings you put up. They will follow you on all social media and lurk quietly. It's happening to me right now as we speak. People I know face to face and some I don't know. Some like me for their wayward reasons, and some like me because to be with me gets back at their failed past. There's many reasons. You don't even have to try to figure it out. Once you spot it, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Let them call you mean. These people are like leeches and a succubus. They will suck from you. And as you move forward in your life,
entertain it.
You can't. You can't under the facade of a false friendship or connection. No. Hurt their feelings. Tell them one day, or just cut them off. And when they come to you, oh, what have I done? Oh, and then they're going to deny it when you tell them, I never thought like that. I didn't know that. But it's their knee-jerk reactions that tell you what's in their spirit. And you as an empath, you know. Now it's on you if you know and you don't make adjustments to rid yourself of these energies. The thing here in this lifetime is that you need to surround yourself with quality people and ascend higher. My thing is, if you're not about something, I can't get around you. Now, you don't have to be actively pursuing and grinding, but on that flow, knowing that this world is a journey and an experience. I can't get hung up off of your car or how big your house is or how pretty your wife or how muscular your husband is, which a woman would do that. I'm not saying I would. I just use both examples, right? But I can't. I have my own journey. I don't care how much you have. The sunset is no sweeter for you than it is for me. And I can have lint in my pocket and you can have millions of dollars. to drink a glass of cold iced tea on a hot day is no sweeter for you than it is for me. But what makes it in my mind sweeter for you is that there are deficiencies and voids that I never dealt with. So this is how it happens, and it poisons the mind. But you ain't poisoning my mind. That's your problem. I can help you, but without a humble spirit, I can't do nothing for you, man. Just like the song that Flavor Flav made back in the 80s. Can't do nothing for you, man.
It reminds me of that show. What's that show that where a bunch of people is competing for this big amount of money that they don't even know if this money is real, but they're competing for it, and people are dying, and people are ready to push another person out the way and off a cliff for it. Just to get to a certain illusionary place, and it's too bad. Like that's how it is in society, and it's a lot of people that are like this, and it's very. I don't know.
They bought into
I just
illusion.
Hope.
Yeah.
I want humanity to evolve from this. But I want people to.
Even you thinking that, sweetheart, at this point, I'm not saying it's a waste of time. You know,
it's too late.
well, let it be too late for them, because see, you have spent many decades with a kind, loving heart toward the world, and I'm not saying because several times you may have been screwed over, like many of us have, but right now, that weak link in the chain out there in society, it may not even be concerned about it being weak and wanting to be strong. It may not concern themselves with wanting to be loving. Nature tells you everything. You see animals that they say is out in the wild, but it's not wild, it's order. You may see a rabbit that looks so adorable. You might see a squirrel that looks so adorable. But then you see a snake, and you know what the snake is capable of doing, but he might be acting adorable. And if you don't know the nature of a snake, you're going to find out real quick. Let's just hope it's not venomous with poison. So people are the same way. We wish all the beautiful animals out in the wild are nice, and they have these books where in the perfect world you can talk to the animals, and you hanging out with the lions. You got the snake wrapped around your neck, and all the animals are smiling and happy in God's kingdom. It ain't like that where we are. So you've got to understand, for you, you're like the bank. Do not give your resources away to somebody who has bad credit.
You're right.
See, many of us, we have this glowing outlook on the world, and we think, oh yes, well, they're smiling, they're acting nice. Nobody ever got a $500,000 bank loan to buy a house because they smiled at the bank person, agent, and they were nice. Well, let's give him this loan because he's nice. No, they have to run the credit. How are these people's credit with you? Will I tell anything to the person who sent me back the message they were sending to a mutual friend? Proof that they're talking about me? Am I going to open up to this person again? No. I'll use him for nostalgic purposes. We'll talk about the past and laugh, but you're not going to get nowhere past. That's
so basically, what you're saying, though, is, so it goes back to frequency again, and you kind of have to just leave. You have to let the dead leaves fall off the tree. You have to shake the tree sometimes.
Yes.
You kind of have to leave it and let things play out. It's up to each one of us. If we want to work on ourselves and become better people with each other and with ourselves, it's all our choice. And that's it. But it doesn't make sense dancing over and over to the same song with the same people, and your feet are burning you.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
It doesn't make any sense. And it takes a long time sometimes to come to those conclusions. Some people get to that conclusion early in life.
Yes.
And some people it takes longer because they have such a big heart and they understand that everybody's suffering, everybody has their trauma. And so they don't want to be so harsh. But you know what? All that time you're getting beat up. Exactly. And it's not fair.
It's not fair. You see, number one, a person who is deserving of your kindness and your sweetness and your heart and your love, they have to earn it. These days, they have to earn it. And over time, it will happen. You will know when it's time. Like that chef that doesn't need a clock or a timer to know when the meal is done. You will know. But you have to understand, you have to tell yourself that the goodness that is in you should not be easily given up because we hope that this person has the potential to be nice back to you. They have to earn it. And if you can see and observe other parts of their life, if they navigate in a righteous way that is to your approval, then maybe you can loan them that precious self of you a little earlier. But if you don't know them, they have to earn it, because you have to turn around and say this: what you have given out to the world, you deserve to give back. But some people and some components of the world are so wicked. See, again, we judge the state of the world by our own mind, because if a gossip is a gossip, he thinks everybody's talking about him. If a thief is a thief, they think everybody's trying to steal from them. You see what I mean? If a man is trying to go to bed with everybody else's wife, he's thinking everybody else is trying to bed down his wife. So when you're good, you think the world is good. And it should be, and it could be, but everybody in it is not. See, that's the thing. We know the potential of it because we feel and we can see it more than they can. If they can only come into that helm where they can join on with you and have that hope. And you see, but what you have to do, you have to build your own little community of people like you, where they have frequency. Frequency. They may not be like you. They may be a midget from Czechoslovakia. It might be a Watusi from Africa. You see what I mean?
It's true. You're right. It might be a
quadriplegic who just loves to hang around and you wheel him around in a wheelchair. You know, it's a frequency, and the frequency can flow through all of us, because what I say in life, no matter who you are, I can always find a common denominator with you. Even if you're hateful for a little while, but I'm not going to want to be around you too long. So you build your own world, even if it's just one other person, or even for now, if it's just your reflection. And you have to depend on that to go into that place that is so comforting to you. And you look in the mirror and you say, I love you. I'm never going to leave you. I'm never going to hurt you. I'm always going to do right by you. And if it's just me and you right now, I'm fine with that. You zone out and listen to the old music in your head that you love. You walk down the streets and go to the shops that you want to go to, where you're not rushed by somebody who only comes with you to see how much money you have and what they can get out of you when you get to the cash register. You date yourself, you love yourself, spend time with yourself, and only then will the other positive energies see that in you and gravitate towards you, because they're doing the same thing. Those are the people that you don't mind sitting down and eating lunch with, because they're not scheming on your pocket. They're not scheming on what you got going on at home. You speak on concepts. You speak on thoughts and manifestations. You're not just trying to find, well, how much you pay for that car and how much money your husband make. I've never been in your house. I need to come see what your house look like. Behind a smile? No, you don't want that.
No.
I had a person.
What you just described, that is where I am at now. And I love it.
But you know what? I'm humble. I said it like that because I know that's where you are right now. I wanted you to see that I know exactly where you are. When you were saying it,
I was smiling. Because I'm like, it took me so long to get there.
Exactly.
But yeah.
And there are people out here in the world who, when you don't jump to their demands, which are most often manipulations and nonverbal. You see, because they have this nonverbal thing going on where they're going to try to coax you to walk the path they want you to walk so they can control you, because there's a lot of control in this. And see, you cut those ties of the control they think they have when you can enjoy yourself independently. Because there have been groups of people as of recent that knew I love to do my work, and I would sit in the house for hours and do my work, and they could be sitting outside the door and wondering why I'm not trying to join on, because I see the spirits of you all anyway. And so now when you try to shut me out the party, deep down, you know you're not doing anything. You're only doing me a favor, because I am my own party and I invite who I want to invite to my party. It may be 2 people or 3. It might be 100 people there. But you got to have the frequency, because anybody around me has got to be able to vibe with you. If me and you get along as well as we get along, and there's somebody I say, listen, they're on the frequency, you will have no problem with them. Or they're new to the frequency, so they might be taking baby steps and stumble, but you can see that.
Yeah.
But
you can see it.
Yeah,
you can feel it.
Yeah, that's right. I made up my mind a long time ago. Nobody's going to be a presence in my life that's going to dictate how I feel and receive my frequency. See, I feel free talking to you. I can be myself with you. We could jump around and we understand different things. And people say, yeah, I know you just trying to get to them drawers. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I love you righteously. I love who you are. You are free and I'm free. Why can't we have the world around us that way? But you know what? If it doesn't catch up, we can't save them. They got to want to do it. Let's vibe with the people who vibe on our frequency. That's all you need. You don't have to carry anybody. Oh, please come, please ascend, please grow. I'll help you. I'll give you advice. Then what are you doing for yourself?
Well, yeah, you're depleting yourself.
Yes.
It's not good. It's
exactly. And it's not good for you, because you were given your life. You were given your life. And you will enjoy your life. If you make the wrong decisions to have the wrong energies, you're spending your spiritual and mental and physical budget of energy in this frequency the wrong way. And if you make bad investments, you will be bankrupt. So you have to budget. Some people may need a word from you. And if you begin to feel too drained, no matter how much they may look like they need it, you have to go. I'll talk to you later. Because there's some people who want to remain in a perpetual place of some type of adversary in their life they feel they can't get over, so they come to you for advice. I know a woman that was living in my block growing up, and she always was running behind this one man. She got close with the mother, so when he came to his mother's house, she's sitting there looking sorry, because it was evident that he didn't want to be bothered with her. He'd bring other women around, introduce and whatever. And he had promised her at one time he was going to marry her. But that's when he got out of prison, because he needed something. But she bought it hook, line and sinker. And it was like, oh, God, here she comes again. This man done got married twice. He done had 3-4 babies. And she's still crying about this man, how he did her wrong. You cannot fill up a cup that has no bottom. You can't fill up a bucket that has multiple holes in it. Once you see that you're trying to jumpstart a vehicle and it doesn't jumpstart, are you going to continue to drain your battery down? No. Brother, you're going to have to get a new battery and get that alternator checked, which means going internally.
Internal, yep.
Look, this is the way I see it. This is the simplest way I see it. And I want you to look at your day the same way. One aspect of it, a part of you is like a cell phone. You wake up and you are supposed to be 100% charged. Granted, the things in the day that jump in your way, you might be a little late to work, Maybe you don't feel good in your stomach, whatever. But if you come back at 93, 95, even 89, it's not too hard to charge up. But in your mind,
that's not bad.
Right. In your mind, you want to come back 100. Because during the day, you want to stick it on the charge a little bit. But you're not going to let somebody use your cell phone to have an argument that has been going on for years with a spouse or somebody where it's perpetual mayhem. Now you in the car, or you on the bus, or you on the train, and you at 3%. And if you in the car and you get a flat way out on the highway late at night, no lights, no nothing, your 3% ain't gonna work too good to get you some help, because the AAA, if you have it, they might put you on hold. The person who you're trying to call, they might be on a conversation not picking up. Now you gave your energy to somebody who just used your whole energy for their decadent or going nowhere situation. I can't do it. People ask me, how do you get so much done online? I say, I cut out the energy wasters. See? You cut them out. It's a joy.
I know.
There are people who...
I remember...
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I remember this is a long time ago. I drove a bunch of friends at the time to a party, and it was in another city, so it was like an hour away. And so I drove my car. So on the way back, coming back from the party, they filled up my car. So my car was like filled. It was heavy, and on the way back, I got a flat tire. And I had to stop the car, everything, pull over, call. Nobody gave a shit in the car. Everybody just sat there twiddling their thumbs in the car. Nobody even got out of the car, and while I was getting out and calling. Yeah, I remember thinking, wow, they didn't offer nothing. They didn't offer to pitch in financially. It was all on me. And I got myself out of this situation, but I remember saying to myself, look at that. I went out of my way to drive everybody and take everybody out so everybody could have a good time. And a flat tire happens with my car and nobody cared. So that's just, when you're talking about that, it reminds me of multiple times in my life where I tried so hard to accommodate other people's feelings and happiness and never got it back. And I had to change things. It took a long time, but I had to make changes. And you're very right about it. Everything that you're saying.
And you have,
right.
You have to realize that the world as it is now, overall, doesn't deserve you. This world doesn't deserve you. There are many parts of this world and many people who deserve you. But it's like going looking through for a needle in a haystack. But this world doesn't deserve you. It's like the more you do good is the more you're despised.
Oh, wow.
And because of the qualities that you have, the vibration you give off and the frequencies that you have, to them is too daggone pure. And it makes them feel how rotten they are. You got a bunch of guys on the corner drinking, eating the fried chicken with all the grease on it, young, guts hanging, and they see a guy jogging past them with a six-pack. Guy ain't too big, but he's in shape. And they see him doing this every day. But yet they're going to be jealous of him. That should be
inspiration.
It should be.
That's inspiration.
Exactly. It should be. But it's not. It's not. Because that guy now makes them feel and know what they're not doing. See, we can take it different ways. We can take it as inspiration, or we can take it as an insult. Because now you want to go hide knowing you're not taking good care of yourself. You don't have to be a body beautiful, but balance. Balance is bliss. Balance is be completely balanced. We should always seek balance. Because I use the tripod analogy all the time. You take a tripod and have all of the legs ejected uneven, where one is longer, one is halfway, and one is midway, and you stand it up, it's not going to stand straight. Only when they're equally balanced in how they are pulled out to the end that you know it's balanced and you can flow. Because when you treat your body right, we can eat little things and treat ourselves, but for the most part, you treat your body right. You try to get your rest. You think good thoughts. You do good deeds out to the world. Not too much, but you do something to people who deserve it. And you can see that in your heart. It may be something small. It might be a little girl who's $2 short getting some food somewhere. And she's old enough to be out there on her own, but she's young enough where she's not all the way there. And you say, okay, I got the $2 for you. And you give it. It may not have to be money on the time. It may be a kind word to somebody who you don't even half know, but you can see on their face that there's something going on in their life. And you don't have to ask what it is. You just let them know. Soon we all go through things, but everything's going to be all right. I don't know what you're going through. We all go through things, but this is your time to do so. And I'm going to let you know I'm living proof. I've been through so much. I've done that. I did that to a lady on the bus stop when I was driving the bus, and she broke out crying, and she sat in the front and she told me all about it. Rode 2 trips round trip to talk to me, and I talked to her back. And she told me the next day how good she slept, that she had somebody that she can talk to, but one who listened and reflected back what she knew, like, wow. He understands, not by saying, I know. Yeah, No. I shared some of mine. And she said, that's exactly where I am, and you do understand. And I said, yes, I do, sister, and it's going to be all right. And she didn't look back. And she succeeded in her life and the different things that were going against her. It's a very important thing, because these people sometimes, they get close to you to throw you off balance, to take pleasure in watching you crash and burn. I had somebody in my life who I thought was a friend. And as I was going through different marital things in my first life and my first wife, right? She was there. It was a platonic thing, but it was an envy under all of that. She was there to talk to me. I told her about everything that was going on, everything that was said. I was so hurt. She said, I'm going to scoop you up. Let me take you get something to eat. Come on, let's go here. Let's go there. I bought this book for you, whatever. And come to find out, she was really feasting on my heartache by acting like she cared. So by doing that, it gave her a chance to get closer to me. Because people take joy in other people's misery. And I noticed our conversations weren't long when things were looking up. I say, boy, I feel good today. I got this raise on the job. I'm going to be getting this new car, been approved for the loan. All right. Listen, I got to go. We'll talk later. But when I said, oh no, you see, my ex-wife, she cussed me out. She took all the money out the bank. But I'm the one who made the most and put it in there. What? She shouldn't do that. So and so. She was just getting that free cable TV, and it wasn't acting. This was real life. See? But I didn't realize
we get these previews. We always get previews.
Yes.
Like trailers to the movie. But we don't pay attention. We don't pay attention, and we let them slide. We kind of know what the movie is about. And yes, but we don't. We still go and watch it, and sometimes get disappointed when we already knew. We saw all the signs. We saw it.
You knew everything that was going to happen. You saw the ingredients, the potential for the energy. See, that's why I don't have to wait for the energies to work out, these different energies. Because see, I was always one who was good at planning parties. And I said, if I bring this one here and that one there, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be great. But you can't bring everybody because it may be a dud. So when I see this,
you can't.
I can predict, I can see certain things. Like I can see future personality clashes when I've dealt with groups. Like when I was in the academy early on, I knew who was going to have a problem with the other one. You see? So I knew how to avoid things because you keep your balance around these people like a kid on a skateboard on a bumpy road. You got to shift yourself according to who's around you to protect yourself.
Yes.
Because these people do not care. In their mind, they don't care about you. In their mind, they're not thinking that, oh, we'll have a forever connection, whether we are the best of friends or not. And they will act that way. And once they size you up, they're going to resent you and they're going to try to siphon from you. Because they didn't know how to handle the situations in this life that they've been through. And instead of letting it become a scar of beauty and pride that is a badge of honor, they take it as something that's ugly. See? Like I said.
Well, we all have a choice. We all have a choice. They have a choice. They can change. They can make changes.
They don't know that.
You know?
And they don't want to do it.
Well, they gotta come to the conclusion sometime in their life, because it's even if it has nothing to do with us or, you know, but within themselves, they're gonna have to sit quietly with themselves and start to understand who it is they are and what kind of person they want to be in this world. If they don't want to do that, then there's nothing anybody can do.
But see,
it is what it is.
This is you judging the state of the world by your own mind. Do you know, could you imagine how many people die and they haven't gotten over certain things and didn't want to, and they take that mess on to the next level, which to me, not physically, but it makes for a more painful transition. Because that situation is like this. You go to T-Mobile or AT&T or Sprint or any cell phone provider, service provider, and you run up a bill for $5,000 and you say, well, you know what? I'm not paying that bill at all. And you don't pay the bill. You don't get the service, or you don't pay the bill. But 5 years from now, you say, okay, let me creep on over there and see if I can get me another cell phone service. And then they go and look through the computer. Mr. Scurvin, we'd love to give you service, but we see in our computer records here that 5 years ago you owe $5,000. Now we closed down that account, but if you want to get this service here, you're going to have to make it right. So when you get to this level of transition, I don't know, I've never been there, but you can't tell me somebody who is rotten on the inside and didn't want to do the work is going to graduate to a level that you have because you walk light. You're aware and you're compassionate on the next person's walk. And it's no crime to protect yourself. Be compassionate, be loving, be giving for the people who deserve it. But the minute you see something rotten, the shop is shut down. That's what I believe in now. That's what I know now. And you'll still be ascended and blessed because the energy that you were given and the frequencies that you travel on, it was given to you by something bigger than us and divine. So if it's bigger than us and gave us this life and divine, are you going to spend the spiritual funds and money haphazardly? That's an insult to the one that gave it to you.
You're right. Yeah.
And you're going to have to answer to that. You knew you were being used in this relationship. Why did you carry on? While they may talk about you for ending it, I know that it was the right thing to do, and I'm proud of you. And the universe talks to you that way at certain points. Spend that universal money. It's not paper money now when I'm speaking. It's your goodness. And if you can't find or don't run across in energy or a person on that frequency, you keep it to yourself.
Yes.
It's like talking to a young lady. Now, we all find the urge for certain sensations. We're curious, we experiment, we want to do things, but ultimately, when we all look back, we say to ourselves, and even me as a man, I should have kept my stuff private until I found that one that came across my path. Because what I have is precious, and what you have is precious, and what you have and what I have is not meant for everybody. No matter how many other people are in imbalanced relationships being used, dysfunctional relationships which are spawned from that person growing up in a dysfunctional family. And guess what? Most of us have grown up in a dysfunctional family. More or less, it's up to us to, what's the president? I think it was Harry Truman who said, the buck stops here. It's up to you to figure out the deck of cards that you've been gifted, to look at it like a gift or to look at it as a liability. And you say, you know what? My hand may not be as mighty as the next man's hand out of the deck of cards that was given, but I'm going to work with this. And how many times, I don't play cards, but I know this. How many times have you been dealt a hand out of the deck like you're like, oh, I can't win this game? But you've played it shrewdly, made good decisions, and you find yourself winning. And winning to me is coming back home with your spiritual cell phone charged at 100, because it can be done. And if it is down to 35, let it be where you use that 65% for yourself. So it's no problem coming home with a low charge, as long as you invested it in yourself. And if you did give away a little bit of it, let it be that it's a divine purpose bigger than you, and you have been an angel in a situation where you were needed. Other than that, you're not a receptacle. You're not a machine. You're not something to be used in a thankless manner. You are precious. When you walk in the room, the whole frequency of the room goes up, averages up. It's not being cocky. You just got to know what you bring to the table. And a lot of us don't know, or we sell ourselves short. You can make the difference in a total stranger's day by the way you look at them in love. Universal love. Yeah. You can change a trajectory. Unconditional. And change that trajectory of a stranger's life by the few words you give as advice. That they walk away and say, oh my God, what you told me is what I needed to hear. Oh my God. Oh wow. And that builds them up. But you don't have to sit here and undertake every person's major issue because they don't want to do it. And then they end up hating you for being good to them. No. Yeah. No. No. And we can always have misjudgments. But if you end up giving a little to somebody who doesn't appreciate you, let them not appreciate you no more, because you're not going to let them happen or let that happen again. Budget yourself. No more of that. No time for that, man. Budget. No time. Budget. That's one of the words you got to think. We think about that with money, but we never think about that with our energies, which are connected to something infinite. But being in this body, we are finite. It's a dual thing. But we think infinite in a finite existence. So we keep giving love to people that don't deserve it and don't reciprocate in the proper way. It doesn't mean tit for tat now. It just means that let me reflect back to me that you understand what I'm giving to you. I don't care if you just give me back 10% and I give 90. As long as, look, 10% might be all you can give. Look at the precious smile of a child that can't even speak yet, and they see you and smile. That's a connection beyond all of this stuff. But you have a person that you've been there for, late night phone calls when you got to get up in the morning, but you listen to them because they got issues. You plan on doing something special with yourself and for yourself on this weekend, and they call because they short, and you give it to them, and you can't do what you got to do for yourself. Like you said, you ride people in the car and you get ready to go somewhere nice, and something happens with your tire and everybody's sitting around looking dumb. Well, you know what? I would have said, listen, y'all, I need everybody out the car so I can deal with this tire, so it can come to a full, filling the tire up to capacity. I'm going to try to do something here. And I would have hopped in the car and left them right there. That's being a little...
Well, they had to come out. I had to tell them to come out eventually. Yeah. But it's just it's just the principle of it, how it happened and how they were reacting. It was just sad to watch that,
And that might have been a bit extreme. That's something I would have done in my younger days. But what I would have done is mark them. Like, okay, I know what and who you are now. So I know how far. And you know what? A sick part of me, which I don't think I'm sick, but a part of me loves that because we're playing chess now. You showed me your hand. You revealed to me through a knee-jerk reaction what you have inside your heart. So I can't depend on you on any type of emotional, mental, or spiritual triage if I need it. You're not going to come through. If you can't offer something, there are times I might have had $5 in my pocket and offered because somebody found themselves needing. And we could have done it collectively, but nobody did. And I'm the only one. And the $5 didn't make no difference. But the person remembered though. Like, yo, bro, I know your heart, man. I remember when I was in trouble and you tried. You a good man. I like you, man. See, you didn't know what I was into, but yo, check this out. Here go $5,000. What? Yeah, you didn't know I owned several dealerships, whatever. And that night I was in trouble. I didn't have nothing and I was down. I got some bonuses. I got this. I got that. I've had not $5,000, but I've had people that I know and didn't know them all the way. But they might have been an acquaintance or an associate or somebody I knew. But they saw something in me. They may have done something else. But I've had a person hand me $2,500 just like that. Yo, you're a good brother, man. Here, take this. I look at it, I'm thinking it's like maybe $10 folded up. I'm like, man, I can't take this from you. He says, yes, you can, because I got a peek at who you are. I'm leaving town. I'm probably going to leave the country. You might not see me again, but that's for you, man. I'll be blessed to get more than that because I handle that kind of money. That's like $1 to me, bro. Take it. There's something you need to do. Go ahead and do it, and you ain't got to pay it back. Like, wow.
But on the flip side of what we're talking about, there are people that are totally opposite to what we're discussing right here. There's people that actually want to work with you and want to see you do better, get better. They're encouraging. They come around to kind of to support and uplift you or just be with you, not to take from you and talk behind your back. There's good quality people out there. Yes. Thank goodness,
And see what happens is that.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's the low vibrational people that want you bitter over the things that they did to you to stop you having a union with the other good people. See? Because those low vibrational people can't fly as high. And they don't want you flying high with other people. So they want you to think that your own wings are clipped, but your wings are healthy. But if they can get into your head and into your heart, they break your spirit. See, I've had people try to, out here in Ghana, you move a certain way. You think you're cool with somebody for years and years. And they're really secretly envious of your enthusiasm and your creativity because they have none. Because see, with them, they're doing something for a secret motivation or a hidden agenda. So they're envious of your drive and your love for the craft that you were born to complete. And so they start trying little things and they want to break your spirit. And it must be killing them where they couldn't even scratch the surface and you're still flying high and doing your own thing without the weight of them. And there are good people who look, I'm connected with you now. And you're going to be connected to other people who come into your life in a non-spectacular way. See, it may not be something that you can see from a mile away and the flares and the fireworks go off as a friend that this person is going to be. He can sneak right up on you. Who knows?
Hmm.
You know, we might be sitting around talking and I'm in the 90s and you in the 80s and we older, right? And we talking some things and the vibration with, they'd be like, what them two old people talking about? And some will get it. Like, man, they talking something deep. They was talking this. I heard them 40 years ago on a podcast and look at them now. I can only grasp bits and pieces because I got to have more experience to know and have under my belt to understand what they're talking about. You can't go to kindergarten and the next year go for a trigonometry class. You got to go gradual. You got to have the experience of slightly more challenging grades. You don't get a ladder where it has a bottom rung and a top rung and you got to squeeze on the side. No, it has the different, you walk up the rungs. One is broke, then you can step over, but they all can't be. You're growing.
Are you drinking anything right now? Like
No.
water or tea or anything?
It sounds like it,
Because I
right?
was saying, no, I was going to say I'm drinking water. I said we should do a toast, like we should raise our glasses.
Oh, I got one right here. Let's raise a glass symbolically.
Let's raise our glasses to genuine
Yes.
connections, genuine people.
Yes.
Frequency people.
Yes. High frequency. Yes.
High frequency, heart chakra,
Yes.
vibrating on your heart chakra, from your heart chakra,
Claim it.
out and in,
And in. That's right. That's right.
inward, outward, all
top,
around.
bottom, front and back, everything. See? And although you... Well, we on a high frequency, but sometimes we have a little urge every now and then, right? So whatever that may mean to people out there, y'all know me, but we can wait for them shows. But, even flowing and all, that's innocent too. When it's a loving, open way. It doesn't have to be venomous or used as weaponized genitalia. No.
Mm-hmm.
We love each other on all fronts and we respect each other's limitations also. And while you're toasting with a glass, I may not have the fine raiment that you have in your hand. I have a plastic bottle of water, as you can hear, while I drink.
Well, I have a water, one of those water bottles. Like it's not
Right, I understand.
any sexy, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's the feeling behind the toast. That's right.
Yeah. It's the intention. And we're in some powerful times right now. So this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of intention we need to put out.
Yes.
Other people, everybody should be doing this because.
Well, see, exactly. Because it's just like a person who's freshly arrested. See, if you don't have a lawyer, one will be assigned to you. And that public defender, he don't give a dang on who you are. He's going to run you through the system. So if you don't claim a specific reality, one will be assigned to you. But which will it be? The reality that you take time and affirm and create and say what you want in it, or just float around the world and whatever you get, you get. Oh no, it can't be as good as the one that you go after, and you know what it's going to entail in the components that you will accept and you will not accept. See, right now in my life, there's certain people, certain energies that I am not going to accept in my life. My life is too precious. It's too precious of a gift. And even though we know time is an artificial, thing, we're going to enjoy the passage of this time until we get to that next level. And it can be intense when you're deep in meditation, whether you're at home in your bedroom, living room, you're in the checkout line in the supermarket or the red light, waiting for the light to change. 4 or 5 seconds, 30 seconds can be so intense and refreshing and rejuvenating. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be around people who, even if I'm quiet on a job or in public, that just their very essence is draining me. No, I'll walk outside and stand outside. I have been known to be standoffish a whole lot. I don't care what other people are doing with their facade, fooling other people. Once I know you're a fraud, I have no desire to be around you. And I'm not going to announce it because I might look bad because you put up such a good front. I'll let time take care of you because you can't hold up that facade for so long. Like I always say, it's like Scotty talking to Captain Kirk, talking about the dilithium crystals cannot hold this up with the force field, right? You're overextending yourself when you're fake. I don't wear a mask. Most people carry multiple masks or one mask. I don't have no masks. I just watch my words depending on what kind of show it is we're having. See? Because I'm multifaceted. I took time to build myself up. And I can't take credit for that because it's the universe that I'm in and what I chose to accept and what I seek to hear. I'm not seeking to hear the gossip voice of the universe, the negative side, the hood side of the universe. I want to go to the high levels where it's good things and we can laugh. You know, one of the most beautiful things that you do when I'm talking to you is when you laugh. It is so pure and joyous. You're not laughing from a venomous side. When we say things and we talk and we laugh, it's just like, yeah, it's so light. And I love it. Because I'll say something, you'll say something, and I'll get it without even having to tell you I get it. And we both know, and we both start laughing. Amazing. Well, that's what we toasted
laughter to. Laughter is medicine.
Exactly. And we're going to get more of that.
You know?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So we're going to be taking all kind of medicine. We'll be, well, medicine is really like poison sometimes, but medicine you don't always have to take, but we're going to always take it in preventative measures in amounts to ward off anything that's not good. Because you see, the medicine that you get from the pharmacy, you got to stop taking it after a while. But the medicine that nature gives as far as its leaves and its roots and its plants, you can take that all the time and it won't hurt you. See? So let's laugh. Let's talk and discuss and dissect and explore and learn because there's so much to this world. Like I always say, if you froze the world right now, where if there's a leaf falling off the tree, it stays frozen, suspended in the air. Somebody's about to punch somebody in the face and they're frozen and they can't hit the person. The cars are frozen. Somebody's about to fall. They're frozen. You can't move. If we froze the whole world and I gave you 10 million years to explore the planet in every dysfunctional family, every situation, every person who likes or don't like this person in their past, all over the world as it is now, that's not enough time. So how am I going to waste time now while time is going on and I got my own situation to deal with, which can take a lifetime if I don't budget my energies right? You see what I mean? You cannot waste any time. As soon as you sniff something fake, get out of there. Get rid of them. Get out of there. Don't deal with them. Most you can do is say hi to them while your feet are walking. How you doing? And keep walking. You're not looking for an answer. Just say how. Just say hi and keep walking.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to.
Oh yeah, because like I said, you are too precious. You got this far in your ascension. And you don't want to stack the dominoes all the way and have somebody else come in the room and knock it over. You don't want to get so high and have somebody bring you down. So those people who come around you that will secretly hate on you, but just stay within a close proximity just to feed you their poison, they're gone. And just like we toasted, I'll pick up my glass again and I'm toasting to clearing the way on this property of my life. So the old structures torn down that looked ugly and was no good and not maintained by the previous owner, and I'm clearing it away. to build up a better structure that will bring light into my neighborhood, that I'll be proud to walk down the street and say, that's my home. That I can push the key in, and I took time and built something so beautiful and was selective in the materials that I used to build it. Quality people, quality thoughts, quality life, and loving yourself every single minute of the day. It is no crime to love yourself. You're supposed to love yourself, just like you're supposed to pay yourself in business. See, you got me going with this thing tonight.
Amen. Amen.